Will Smith just smacked the out of me.
How you eye?
Oh, it's cool.
Damn! Put your glasses back on.
This is the reason why I think there's a problem, because the word alopecia simply just means hair loss. It's not what Jada Pinkett Smith suffers from. She suffers from a specific type of alopecia. So when someone says alopecia, it just means hair loss. And that's the mistake. I've looked through all the media and they're not saying it right. It's alopecia areata most likely. And alopecia areata is an autoimmune disorder. And that's probably what she suffers from what I can gather. So right now, there's no clear understanding of how people get alopecia areata. Alopecia areata is a condition that's more common in children, prepubescent, but it can occur in adult. And basically, it shows up as little spots of circles of hair loss. Those can become confluent and bigger. And there's also conditions known as universalis and totalis, where you can get totalis, losing all the hair in the scalp, and then universalis, where you won't lose it from the eyebrows and all your body hair. Now, she doesn't seem to have that condition because she had to shave her head, which clearly, if you had totalis, you would not have any hair on your head to begin with. Alopecia areata, they're usually, as the word areata means, it's like a circle. They're little patches of hair loss that are smooth. And if you look under a microscope, it has what's called exclamation hair points. It's a very clinical, clear sign that's there. And it's usually treatable in mild conditions with steroid injections to reverse it. Usually a dermatologist handles it. I'm a hair transplant surgeon, so I actually don't manage alopecia areata directly. I just refer that to a dermatologist.
So guys, we have another interesting topic for us to discuss today. First and foremost, as you saw the doctor explain exactly what the autoimmune disease that Jada Pinkett Smith has to go through on a day-to-day basis, my wishes goes out to her that she does recover. However, this is not a cancer, but rather this is a disease that more than likely, as the doctor explained, could be a temporary disease. However, the biggest thing that we need to talk about is the slap that happened around the world. Everybody is talking about it. It is the main thing that the world is shocked by, even myself, because it was foolish, it was cruel, and the audacity of Will Smith to do such a thing at the Oscars. He has overshadowed the 3 decades of work and hardship that he has put in all the way up to this point to receive that award. He overshadowed not only his own award, but he overshadowed other people that has put in decades, if not years, of experience and work and hardship to get to that point of receiving their Oscars as well. We will lay all of those things out within this video. You will get different perspectives on the problem that happened, that we all caused, and then we will come up with solutions to the very problem as well. So without further ado, let's take some action.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
I'm going to, okay? Okay. That was a greatest night in the history of television. Okay. Okay.
You gonna smack me in front of my friends? I was emotional. I was an emotional ass kid. I'm running away. That's it. I packed the bag and everything. You know how many times I packed the bag with a toy? I packed the bag with one toy. I'm out. I'm sick of it. Me and He-Man are out.
All right, guys. So as you saw that joke right there with Kevin Hart acting like a kid, gotta pack up your bags, put your toy in there, all those kind of things. The reason why I put that part in there is because that's exactly what Will Smith was acting like. A childish, a foolish kid. I was appalled. I was flabbergasted. I was shocked to see him walk in a full room of prestigious individuals that has worked hard, tirelessly to get their awards, including himself. And to do that act within minutes by slapping Chris Rock is just shocking beyond me. It really is shocking beyond me. So I want to show you guys this picture. It takes 20 years to build a reputation in 5 minutes to ruin it. If you think about that, you'll do things differently. By the great Warren Buffett himself. Let that sink in for a second. 20 years. Will Smith, in that case, 3 decades. To get that Oscars award and all of that is overshadowed, including everybody else's hard work, is all overshadowed because of one mistake that he made, because of words, a joke that really wasn't that big of a deal, in my opinion. And I'm going to tell you why, in my opinion, it wasn't that big of a deal. It's because G.I. Jane herself, for one, is good looking. She was a phenomenal actor. She was the lead actor. And she did a fantastic job in that movie. She was a bad ass. Which fits the criteria of Jada Pinkett Smith herself. Good looking woman. She can definitely take over a movie. She can definitely be a lead actor. And she can do a phenomenal job and sell millions of tickets for a movie. So if anything, I looked at that joke as a good joke. If anything, a compliment at the time. Now, I wasn't fully aware of the alopecia areata that she had, that she was dealing with. But with a joke like that, all Chris Rock is trying to do is bring light to a situation and not to be so uptight all the time. Me personally, as a prime example, I'm deaf. I am severely deaf in both of my ears. I don't let that stop me. I don't let that define me and where I am going in life. I am blessed to be awakened and to be able to do these videos all the time and to be able to go out and work and put a roof and clothes on my back. I am blessed to be able to do that. I talk about myself. People that's within my inner circle knows that I talk even about myself. So when I'm going to a comedy event and I'm sitting in the front row, roast me. I welcome it in. I'll let them know I'm deaf. Other people might not want to do that. That might be deaf like me. But I have the confidence within myself that I don't care what anybody says about me. I don't care. At one point, yeah, I might have dealt with the position of me having to be deaf, but at this point in my life, having to deal with it so many times, I don't allow words to control me. I don't allow words to allow me to have to go to the aggression. Men think that if I show this aggressive stance like very much Will did, that is masculinity. That is being a real man. It's not. It's not, unfortunately. So let's go to what Steve Harvey and some other great comedians had to say about this particular incident. And then we're going to act accordingly from there.
Here's the thing of it. I understand that defending the honor of your wife. I'm that dude. But you don't have to do something. He didn't dishonor her. For that. He didn't do that. That joke was not worthy of the reaction. If he was going to have a reaction, I think that Will should have done the man thing, was step to him afterwards in that press room. And if he wanted to slap Chris then, he could have slapped Chris in the press room and seen how it went. But see, Will laughed. But see, he laughed at the joke till he saw Jada's reaction. Yeah. Now, let me tell you something. That's a Hollywood move now. To go up there on national TV, slap another black man, turn around your back and walk off because you know he can't do nothing.
Yeah.
See, and I know this. I know he know this because Will been in Hollywood long enough. So now to turn your back and walk off, you going to slap the dude and then turn around and walk off, you know in real life that ain't the way this going to go. You already know. And Rock is a Jersey boy. So no. So, and I didn't think the moment was that. And I think he overreacted, like Carla said. He paid too much into the moment. His acceptance speech, that was raggedy, apologizing to the Academy. But here's what I think is going to happen. When this go down and wake up the right way, there's going to be some type of banning from the Oscars of Will Smith.
Yeah.
Because look, they took Kanye off the Grammys. They took him off the Grammys. The Oscars is all Hollywood is about. It's their biggest moment. And for you to do that on the biggest moment,
they don't condone violence. They don't. The Academy does not condone violence.
Denzel told him right.
Yeah.
In your biggest moment is when the devil come for you.
Yeah.
You should have handled that.
What did you think as you...
So before we get to what Jim Carrey has to say, first and foremost, again, I'm shocked and I'm appalled about what Will Smith did. What he did in front of the elites of Hollywood, what he did in one of the most prestigious events, if not the most prestigious event in all of Hollywood, in front of millions of people, and in front of millions of people that might look up to him and think that, oh, this is the way that I gotta protect my woman by showing the emotional aggression. That's gonna make me more of a man. It's not. As I said before, it's not. Number two, I believe that this was a buildup over years, all the way going back to his memoir of what he mentioned in his, I guess, a semi-documentary of him in his childhood and how he did not defend his mother. That's one effect that happened. The Tupac situation, allegedly, a lot of people were saying that after the Tupac situation of her and then dating Will, she told Tupac not to beat up Will Smith, allegedly. So you have that situation going on. You understand what Jada Pinkett Smith, should you say, has been. She hasn't changed over the years. So you have that situation. And then you have the August to pile on top of that. This is a boiling pot. This is a boiling pot all the way to this point. And Chris Rock was just the tip of the iceberg, that last drop that overfilled everything, because you have all of these people talking about Will Smith, calling him soft, calling him a blue pill, calling him a beta male, because he allowed this woman to metaphorically spat in his face, disrespect him on national television at the red table, and to ultimately say that she felt like she did not cause a transgression within their marriage and to him directly by messing with her son's friend. She messed with her son's close friend and had an entire relationship and felt like she did not transgress, but rather she felt relief. It was exciting. It felt good. I haven't felt good in years. This is all of the things that she said. And if you do not believe me, wait for part 2 to come out of this video. Wait for part 2. And you will see everything that she mentioned within that video. Because I was shocked that Will Smith allowed all of that to happen. This man was going to a mental breakdown at the time. And the fact that she was willing to go contrary from him and to try to help healing someone else and have all this fun, have all this fun, it's beyond me. So what honor was you defending, Will? What honor? Because she demoralized and turned that honor that she had within your marriage and your relationship, she tore that into pieces years ago. She tore that into pieces. She had a full-blown relationship with this man. That was her son's friend. Let's see what Jim Carrey has to say about this, though.
Watched it unfold, and then what happened after?
I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
There was some question today about if anyone else had walked from the audience and done that, they would have been escorted out by security or maybe even arrested. The police asked Chris if he wanted to file charges. They asked Chris, do you want to file charges? And Chris apparently said no, he did not.
So I'm going to pause there real quick. There is a story by Kevin Samuels. And if you want to see the reaction from Kevin Samuels as well, please go down and look at it. He gave a mini story about a woman that was a seat filler. She's an employee of the Oscars. She was a seat filler at the Oscars. And if anybody understands these kind of events, there will be a code of conduct that you have to follow. Everybody's aware of that. There's a code of conduct that people that are invited to the event has to follow, and then the employees has to follow. And so one of the people that won the Oscars had the Oscars in their hand, and they asked this person, this woman, have you ever held the Oscars before? And she was like, no. And most people clearly have never held an Oscars before. So she took the Oscars. When he offered it to her, she held it and took a picture with it. Long story short, she got fired. She got fired. A lot of people, if it was a regular person that had walked on stage and slapped another comedian, you would be gone from the building, let alone arrested, if not have charges filed against you. You see it all the time in sports events, when they're on basketball courts, when they're on football fields. They get tackled, they take it out of the building, and more than likely they're arrested. So the fact that Will Smith felt like he was above the norm, above the law, above the code of conduct is beyond me. But let's see what else Mr. Jim Carrey has to say.
He doesn't want the hassle. I'd announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million because that video is going to be there forever. It's going to be ubiquitous. You know, that insult is going to last a very long time. If you want to yell from the audience and disapprove or show a disapproval or say something on Twitter or whatever, you do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words.
Words.
No, I agree.
Yes.
I think we all agree on that. I just thought, Jim, that it escalated to that. You know what I mean? That it escalated to that level.
It didn't escalate. It came out of nowhere because Will has something going on inside him that's frustrated, and I wish him the best. I really do. I don't have anything against Will Smith. He's done great things. But that was not a good moment. It cast a pall over everybody's shining moment last night. You know, a lot of people worked really hard to get to that place and to have their moment in the sun and to get their award for the really hard work they did. And it is no mean feat to go through all the stuff you have to go through when you're nominated for an Oscar. It's a gauntlet of devotion that you have to do. And it was just a selfish moment to cast a pall over the whole thing.
I 100% agree with that. A gauntlet of all of this work and devotion that you have to put into trying to receive the most honorable award that you can potentially get in one's lifetime was all overshadowed by a lot of people. And I'm going to name a few people that it overshadowed, that the slap around the world overshadowed. This is point number 4. Will Smith himself, I hope he realized, I really hope he realized that people like Questlove, he overshadowed. Questlove, of the best documentary, Summer of Soul. Chris Rock was about to give that, and all of that was overshadowed because of the slap. Will Packer himself was invited to be the producer of the Oscars. And all of that was overshadowed, not to mention He said, I'm not only going to bring my black self down there, I'm going to bring our entire black crew to come with me to show them that we are capable of putting an event like this together. You think we can't? Watch us. All of that was overshadowed. Will Packer and his entire crew. Regina Hall and Wanda Sykes. Overshadowed. And even then, Ariana DeBose, Best Supporting Actress, she was overshadowed as well. That's just some of the very people that worked hard to get to that point. All of that gone because of one incident that happened. Let that sink in for a second. Now, I'm going to get to this last point. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had some words to say, some very critical words to say about what Will Smith did. And we finna read along and see what he had to say about this. When Will Smith stormed onto the Oscar stage to strike Chris Rock for making a joke about his wife's short hair, it did a lot more damage than just to Rock's face. With a single perpetuant blow, he advocated violence and dismissed women, insulted the entertainment industry, and perpetuated stereotypes about the black community, which is one of the very things that I am trying to change within the black community and our culture today. I cannot say this enough. I know I have said it several times within this video. Our young G's, our young boys, we got to change, because emotional aggression is not going to get us very far. Moreover, that's a lot to unpack. Let's start with the facts. Rock made a reference to Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, as looking like Demi Moore in G.I. Jane, in which Moore had shaved her head. Jada Pinkett Smith suffers from alopecia, as we all know now, which causes hair loss. Okay, I can see where the Smiths might not have found that joke funny, although Will Smith found it funny to begin with, before he changed based on the manipulative tactics that Jada instilled into Will, controlling him to go up there to do what he did. However, but Hollywood awards shows are traditionally a venue where much worse things have been said about celebrities, as a means of downplaying the fact that it's basically a gathering of multimillionaires giving each other awards to boost businesses so they can make even more money. The Smiths could have reacted politely, laughing along with the joke, which a lot of people do oftentimes, or by glowering angrily at Rock. The choice is really yours. But instead, Smith felt the need to get up in front of his industry peers and millions of people around the world and hit another black man. I'm going to put that in there. Hit another black man. Then return to his seat below. Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth. He basically gave Chris Rock fresh of Prince of Bel-Air slap, and then proceeded to walk away, straighten his suit out like he's some mafia boss, and sat down comfortably. And then retaliate with keep my wife's name out of your mouth. Twice. Moreover, I'm not going to read this entire article. I want you guys to go down in the comment section below and read this article if you want to read the entire thing, because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had a lot to say about this man and the entire event that happened. However, let me get to the more key points that I want to highlight within this. From everything I'd seen of Pinkett Smith over the years, she's very capable and tough, a smart woman who can single-handedly take a lame joke, if in fact it was lame to her, and all of the world know, based on her facial expression, that it was lame. She can take a lame joke at the Academy Awards. So we all know that. And then we're going to get to the bigger point of this all. By using these women to virtual signal, he was in fact exploiting them to benefit himself. But of course, the speech was about justifying his violence, and apparently so many people need Smith's protection that occasionally it gets too much and someone needs to be smacked. Moreover, young boys, especially black boys, I'm going to say black boys that look up to him, watching their movie idol not just hit another man over a joke, but justify it as him being a super-like protector or superhero-like protector, are now much more prone to follow in his childish footsteps. Perhaps the saddest confirmation of this is the tweet from Jaden Smith himself, saying, and I quote, "And that's how we do it." That's how we do it. So you're condoning violence. And a lot of our young black boys over the years think that this is the way to go. We see TV shows like A Love and Hip Hop. We are so entertained by it that we instill it in our heads, thinking that that's the new normal and that we should throw a drink at another girl's face, or that we should be able to pull out the trigger and the Glock and take him out. We should immediately retaliate without logically thinking, without strategically sitting back and saying, okay, let me figure all this out before I handle it just any kind of way. Instead, you flip 0 to 100 real quick. That's the world we live in today. Music is a direct reflection and a representation of what the world is around us today, along with TV shows, movies, and beyond. And we continue to find entertainment and to disrespect. We continue to find entertainment and to the likeness of people fighting and aggravating violence and showing aggression, emotional aggression, and think that that is the way to go. We need more fathers in our homes more than anything. So I'm going to say this is point 5, and I'm going to end it out like this. This would be 2 solutions that Will Smith could have done, that I hope that other young boys, if not men, would take into account as well, especially into things like this, when it consists of words, right? So, number 1, Will Smith could have done one of 2 things. He could have said in his speech, by highlighting he did not necessarily like the joke, by highlighting the condition that Jada is going through, and he can bring that attention not only to Chris Rock himself, but to the millions of people that may have not known her condition as well, which is alopecia areata, as we hear from the doctor at the very beginning of this video. He could have did all of that within his speech. He spoke for 5 minutes. Believe me, he could have put that in the speech, but he didn't. The second thing he could have did was he could have just took this behind the scenes and handled it behind the scenes with no cameras. He could have did that as well, but he didn't do both. Those are 2 solutions that he could have did himself. Understanding you are on national television. You're on national television. So my young G's that are out there that are inspired to be great men, that are looking to enhancing your masculinity, this is not the example in which you should follow. By showing aggression through your emotions, but rather a true man, a true masculine man, won't be so frail and quick to retaliate, but rather sit back, strategically think before he oneself does. In situations like this, as a prime example, not everything needs to be met and held with aggression and violence. Because understanding this, if you as a man or woman learn anything, if y'all learn anything from this video whatsoever, never, I repeat, never allow your emotions to cloud your judgment. Because if you do that, you will never win the battle. You're going to always lose and take the L. Always remember that, if anything at all. So that's my final words. Stay determined, be effective, and have the fortitude to go through anything, no matter what, if you put your mind to it and you take action at the end of the day. Because we do not teach, believe, and receive on this channel. A lot of people can believe a lot of things. That doesn't mean they are deserving of those very things. You have to work for what it is that you want in life. You have to go work for it. That's how you win things, like an Oscar. So until next time, peace.